Peanut Butter Falcon.
No way.
Should I stop this and then make sure that it's recording?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Let's get her doing.
I'm recording it right now.
Oh, are we recording that?
We are right now.
Okay.
Hello.
Wait, are we still recording?
We never
Wait,
stopped.
hold on. We're recording.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
False start there.
All right. We ready?
I think we're ready.
All right.
Well, I think we're here at the Drop Culture Quickcast.
Yeah, well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it is.
Good night.
Oh my God, you can't do that and not finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Good
no,
afternoon,
that's at
good
the end
evening, and
of
good night.
it. We're all back together in one
Yes.
room at the Drop Culture Podcast Studios in sunny Manitou Springs, Colorado. I didn't fuck it up this time.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
All good, brother.
Yes,
Fucking
I think I got a
great job.
contact high from sitting in this room with you guys.
Oh.
Hey, it's Colorado.
I know. Well, it's the contact high from being in Manitou Springs.
That'll do it.
And that's what it is.
Honestly.
I just strolled past the little opening gates and was like, whoa. Feels kind of stoned right now.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm not
All
going to
right,
lie.
let's get into it here. We've been waiting for a while. Let's talk about Joker.
Do you want to talk about that now or do you want
Yeah.
to wait?
No, I want to get it right off the top.
All right.
People have been waiting for you to watch this.
Let's
We've
put
been-
out a spoiler warning real fast. For
Yes.
anybody who has not seen Joker and does not want it spoiled, please skip forward to probably a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fast
we're
forward.
going to discuss this for a while here.
For a
and
minute or
spoilery,
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
It
guys.
may or may not be in the notes.
Okay, like I'm literally going to like set it up because you guys all seen it in the theaters multiple times. Mitch, you've seen it twice, right?
Yeah.
Both of you guys have seen it once, right?
Yes.
Well, I kind of went against my code and I did watch it, right? But I stopped it like right in the very beginning of it so I could watch it with my wife, right? She really wanted to watch it. So I went back and I had The King of Comedy already. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to look at what was kind of some of the inspiration for the movie. It was definitely worth it to watch that one first.
Yeah.
To watch that one first because I don't think I'd ever seen King of Comedy before.
Oh.
And it was such a great movie. Have you guys seen it, Mitch?
No, I haven't.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's just such a good setup for that in that world. But then Taxi Driver 2, you kind of add both of those together,
Yeah, that's the-
and you get this.
That's the only movie I could think to compare this to when I saw it in the theater. I was just, I was watching it and I thought it was very good. Like you said, the production design, the acting, the music, the score, the cinematography. But then I was thinking, man, what else? What other movies are like this? And the only one I could think of was Taxi Driver. I couldn't really compare it to King of Comedy.
I see the allusions from,
the parallels
or,
in that
or
part
at
of
least
it.
the inspirations from King.
The talk show,
Yes, absolutely.
the fantasy interactions, the actual characterization. So you put Travis Bickle in the King of Comedy, becoming a basically like a personality in that movie, and then you got that.
And I think that
yeah.
I honestly think it mirrors Taxi Driver more.
Yeah.
I think basically it's like, hey, make Taxi Driver the origin of the Joker.
Exactly.
And there it is.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great
Or
idea.
this whole thing
Thanks.
is just a fabrication of Joker after watching Taxi Driver, and this was his next story that he told to somebody.
Either way, I mean, I love it.
Yeah, and like I was
It was
saying,
good.
how I really have a good summation of this. Now, the Joker may not know what his actual origin is. So he's actually telling it. So he's making it up as best as he can. Not necessarily making it up. There's a lot of fact in there. But how does he know what's true and what isn't true? Because he's so fractured anyway. So it's just like an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different things all put together. And he's just choosing what to tell everybody. Just
Okay,
like the,
are
how
you
I got those scars.
So are you saying that like at the end of the movie that he's just telling the psychiatrist whatever he wanted?
Not necessarily. He was telling her his version of what he remembers of it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
No, because I did not see this way. I don't like all these theories.
There's a lot of them out there
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
even
Like
the director said this could just be one of the things Heath Ledger's character Joker was lie. It's one of his
Yeah.
lies.
He said that?
Yeah. Yeah. Like early on.
So it's just, I don't think
But
it's
that's
a lie.
when he didn't want to make another one. Now
Yeah.
he wants to make another one.
No.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's fine.
I don't.
If you made $1 billion, of course you're going to make another one if
To
they tell
me,
you.
to me, it was real simple. I mean, you guys can get into all the theories and whatever, but whatever you saw there just happened. It just happened.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
did it happen?
When it's done. That's
when,
it.
When somebody's telling their own story for it, don't you think they'll embellish or add in extra
But he's
things?
not telling a story. You're just watching it in real time.
Well, I think that he wasn't really necessarily telling the story there, but he's remember what he wants to remember. Is the way I see it.
I don't know. I don't see it that way.
He's
I
glorifying
followed a
himself
linear.
little bit,
I followed like a linear storyline through the whole thing, and then there was some sequences that he may or may not have imagined in certain ways when he does like the dances, but I didn't see any like. I don't remember anything where it was like, oh, that wasn't real. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well,
I mean, it
like his
even points
interactions
out
with
that
the people.
Yeah.
some of the
yeah.
whole scenes were fabricated by his head.
yeah.
Which scenes?
Like the ones
Like
with
knowing the girl at all.
yeah. Like he never knew her.
Because she walks in
wasn't
and she's
real.
like, "Oh, you're the guy from down the hall." After hanging out with
Right,
him,
so he
and-
So
imagines
all
having-
of that, all of those interactions with her, all of like he's just out in public.
when
talking
Robert
to
De
himself.
Niro
himself,
pulls him from
you
the
know?
crowd and like has,
Or at least
Yeah,
in his
that
head.
one. That one was clearly like he was watching TV and imagined himself like in the TV.
Right.
and he
Yeah.
did that again later, and that just showed like there quite a bit of stuff in the movie could have just been fabricated in his head, but you don't know what was real and what's not. The only reason we knew about the girl was because of that last scene that they
Yeah.
showed. But if they didn't say that, we would never have known that was fabricated. So what else could have been?
Yeah.
I guess my point is, we're not supposed to like identify with this character and glorify this character, and I just feel that this is something that just happened, and it just happened to be Gotham, and whoever or whatever, if he's still the Joker or not the Joker when Batman grows up, it's whatever. But like, you're not supposed to root for this guy. Do you know what
No,
I'm saying?
no.
But you feel for him 100%.
Yeah,
throughout
well,
the
and I
whole
do.
thing. Yeah.
You do. But I
mean-
just get.
But
I
there's
guess
a
I
point.
just-
You don't.
He's not a hero.
He's definitely a villain, and he shows that in the end for what he does. And that actually, I'll say before that, when he chases the guy down and shoots him in the back.
Yeah.
From that point forward, he is a villain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though you feel, at least when I watched it, I feel I'm kind of rooting for him because I feel justified. I feel like he's justified in that.
But the culmination at the end, or towards the end, when
He's in the streets. You mean?
no, when before that, when he's on the talk show,
Yes.
the culmination of that scene. At that point, if you have feelings for him, now you have a problem.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because now he's a psycho.
So I guess that's what's
So if I do
crazy.
that, I'm just saying, take me out. It's cool. No.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's made so much money. It's made $1 billion. It only cost $70 million to make.
Yeah.
And even though you said that
I think
Warner,
it was 55, but 70 with the marketing, right?
well, I'm just upping it. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like 65, 68. But I guess in one review or something I heard anti-hero, it was written. Another anti-hero movie. Well, he's not an anti-hero. Do you know what I'm saying?
no, no.
Wolverine.
He's chaotic.
Wolverine's an anti-hero. Do you know
Right,
what I'm
the
saying?
Punisher.
The Venom movie was an anti-hero movie.
Yeah,
They dubbed
kind of.
it.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
say the Punisher, but at the same time, Punisher's kind of a psycho, dude.
Yeah.
I would say anti.
Yeah. You feel for him too because his family got killed.
Yeah.
But he
But
kills
then
a lot of people.
He kills more people than it was ever killed.
I'm not
in his
saying they're
life.
all
Yeah.
bad people or all good people, but
The main
you
thing
know,
I got from this movie that really was not anti-hero, not anything else, was I think it was an extreme example of a society not trying to help mental illness, just totally
Right.
abandoning it
Yep.
and saying screw it and
Right.
watching that just go off the chain.
Yeah.
Now, of course, an extreme example, maybe not, but I mean, for the most part, I would say
Most
extreme.
of the people that do commit those crimes like that have been overlooked their entire lives.
Yeah.
Right.
And
mental, yeah.
whenever he's sitting there with the doctor and he's like, you don't even listen to anything that I have to say.
Yeah.
How much does that happen? And then her blatantly coming out and saying, they don't give a shit about you.
Right.
They don't give a shit about any of us.
At least she was honest.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing is like, she was doing a job just like he was just trying to go in there to get help. But was he trying to get help?
but I got to think
Right.
that if you're gonna treat people like that, you probably need to handle them a little bit differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
You
their
should
brains
hear-
aren't made for
But when
the
does
facts.
when
you
does
know
a
what I
job
mean?
become just a job?
No,
for some people,
I'm sure
you know,
100%.
all the time, dude. All
Yeah.
the time.
And
You'd
it's
be
a, and it's a good
surprised.
reflection. It's a good reflection on that stuff like that, because I think that's why people were freaked out before the movie came out, that more people would come out and commit crimes because of it.
That's kind of where I was trying to go with this. Is it's weird to me that this movie, you use the comic book milieu or the comic book whatever genre of movies that they make nowadays, and then you have this real issue veiled in it by a director who made the Hangover movies.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you have Joaquin Phoenix with this incredible performance. I guarantee you he'll win the Oscar.
They'll snubby.
No, dude, I
I
guarantee
don't
you.
know. I mean,
I'll bet right now it's on the podcast. It's recording.
Yeah, I would like to believe that they would. They
will.
would. Yeah.
I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to give it credence for what it is. The Academy is synonymous with fucking snub and shit. That's really great.
No, I know.
I'm
but
not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
it's just been in the zeitgeist for so long since it happened. And to your point, what you said earlier is that there were all these warnings before it came out, and high security, and blah 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 blah, all this stuff, and then it made all this money. I'm just worried that it glorifies and people are going to overlook the real issue. And they're going to be like, I just want to dress up like the Joker and cause chaos.
Well, that's what
right.
happened after The Dark Knight came out. Come on.
I think anything that gains a lot of attention and popularity is going to have that. Like, you
Yeah.
can't stop people from doing that kind of thing. You just
Yeah.
have to kind of push that aside and look at the actual meat of
Okay,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
point. Good point.
Well, I mean, this is how many people dress up like Travis Bickle. I mean, come on. I mean,
maybe
for real.
Halloween 1979 or whatever, but maybe not anymore.
See what I'm saying? I mean, it's going to take a while.
Right.
People are going to pay attention to it, and then there's going to be other generations that grab onto it, just like they did with that one.
Right.
You know, I mean, the mohawk and everything like that. That was straight up 100% Joe Strummer later
the
on.
army
you know what I
jacket,
mean?
the army jacket.
Yeah. I mean, that was a mythos that was created in that. And watching that movie after I watched Joker, I was like, okay, I can see the parallels as you take him and you put him in King of Comedy. You guys need to watch it again since you've seen it.
Yeah.
And you'll see the obvious parallels on that. And the really good ones that you can mix with it. And overall, the movie was badass.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the
so
shit out of
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We've been looking forward to that movie since what?
Yeah.
April.
long time.
Since
ago,
before
yeah.
it even had a trailer.
Yeah, I
we
know.
heard about it and we're like,
This is going to be really good.
Well, that's the other thing is I remember hearing about it and being like, do I need this? Joaquin Phoenix? Okay, that's cool. And then you see the trailer and I'm like, yeah, I want to see this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
every single time they do a Joker casting, like with Heath Ledger, I was just like, how? And then they do that whole makeup and everything else, and they totally took over, and he became the Joker.
Yeah.
Same with Joaquin Phoenix. Like, I really didn't see him as the Joker, but he is a just totally different type of Joker. But that's how the comics do it. All the comics have different styles of artists, different styles of whatever they do.
And that's the other thing is I don't care. Like people are talking about making a sequel to this, like you said.
No.
Don't do that.
I think they're already
Leave it.
on board with that.
I know, but
I read something this morning. I don't remember exactly.
don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, they don't. Not everything has to be connected that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some
No,
people
I
are already
agree.
talking. People are talking like, "Oh, is this movie going to be connected to Robert Pattinson's Batman?" No. It's like a comic book. There are different artists and there are different writers.
Exactly.
Just let it be different. It doesn't have to follow the MCU.
You can
mold.
have that vein if you want. They do that like in the animated films
Yep.
in the same way.
Or
But if
the
they just
Marvel
have a story
movies.
they want to tell, they just tell it. You know what I mean?
Or
Let's be real, guys. It's owned by WB, and we know who owns WB. It's gonna have a sequel.
Yeah.
They want money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already about the money. Well, I'm the Joker character started because of the movie The Man Who Laughs from the early silent film
28, I
era.
think.
And it was Adrian or something Conrad Veidt or something
Conrad
like that.
Veidt.
Yeah, so he was the original inspiration for it. But then you have Cesar Romero, you have Jack Nicholson, you have Heath Ledger, you have all the different interpretations
Mark
for it.
Hamill, Jared Leto.
Yeah, there's just so many people can take that character wherever they want to. They just have a crazy dude and they figure out how they're going to make their crazy into that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Which again, you feel for this Joker and you really pay attention to what he's going through. And he's almost the most relatable, I guess.
I think that this Joker balances out Jared Leto's Joker to
Actually,
bring it to an even keel.
Yes.
No, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I couldn't have asked for more out of it. Thought it was a